The Chicago Bulls suffer a 112-103 loss to the Milwaukee Bucks to end their 5-game winning streak. The Bulls now fall back to 1 game below 500. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content today, y'all. And the Chicago Bulls lost this game to the Milwaukee Bucks, and this just came down to a bunch of mistakes made by the Chicago Bulls. With 1 minute and 10 seconds left, the Chicago Bulls were only down by 3. The Bulls had went on a 6-0 run to get the lead down by 3 with 1 minute left. And at that point, the Milwaukee Bucks go on a 9-3 run, and the Chicago Bulls just cannot stop the bleeding at that point in time. And it's just unfortunate, man. The Bulls just couldn't take care of business in this game like they needed to. Over that last minute, the Bulls went 1 of 4 from the field. 1 of 4 from the field. The Milwaukee Bucks got 5 of 6 free throws in that last minute and 10 seconds, and the Milwaukee Bucks ended up walking away with this. Giannis scores 8 points in the last 1 minute of that game to put the Bulls up. The last 2 points was a dunk on a fast break where Giannis should have just let the clock run out. And people kept saying that Giannis wants to come play for the Bulls. Y'all think he wants to come play for the Bulls like that? This was a bad loss by the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls could have won this game, but it came down to execution by the Bulls where they were just lacking in this game, and it's an unfortunate side effect of this game, man. This was a winnable game. It was a winnable game, even though the Milwaukee Bucks was giving us some work. The Chicago Bulls overall in this game, man, just too many turnovers ultimately in this game, man. 15 turnovers in this game. When you look at the fourth quarter alone, they had 2 turnovers, which were key turnovers in this game to the Chicago Bulls. But this is another game where the starters just didn't have it. The starters just did not have it in this game. You look at no starter scores 20 points. You got Josh Giddey 4-10 with 13 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 turnovers, though. You got Kobe White. He was 6 of 12 from the field. Not bad percentage shooting with 16 points, 4-8 from 3, which is good. 5 turnovers, though. He had more turnovers than rebounds and assists combined. That's not going to cut it. Your starting backcourt had 10 assists and 9 turnovers. You can't do that from your starting backcourt. You just can't. You can't do that. And so, that's a big part of what doomed the Bulls. Vooch had 16 points, 7 rebounds in this game. And the key part of this game as well, he got the ball just snatched from him. Miles Buzelis had 8 points in 22 minutes, 10 points from Isaac Okoro, 10 from Zach Collins, who went to the locker room in the fourth quarter. We'll find out what's going on with him here in a little bit. Ayo Dosunmu had 11 points as well in this game. But overall, man, the Bulls just did not attack this one correctly. They did not have the right mentality. There was one team on the court that had the right mentality in the fourth quarter, and that was the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bulls just didn't have it. They didn't have it. And you look at what the Milwaukee Bucks did in this game. Giannis Antetokounmpo in 25 minutes had 29 points, 8 rebounds, assist, a steal, and a block. You had Ryan Rollins with 20 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds in this game as well. He had 2 steals in this game. Bobby Portis had 17 points off the bench. Kyle Kuzma had 12 points off the bench. This was just not a game that the Bulls could win. When you play and perform like that, that edge that we saw just wasn't there. I'll say there were spurts of it. I'm not going to act like the Bulls played like bitches for the entirety of the game. It was actually a close game going into halftime, a very close game. When you look at this, the Milwaukee Bucks scored 28 points in the first. The Bulls scored 26. The Milwaukee Bucks scored 26 points in the second. The Bulls scored 24. The Milwaukee Bucks scored 31 points in the third. The Bulls scored 30. It was close every single quarter, right? So if you look at the individual quarters, it wasn't like a huge discrepancy, but it was enough discrepancy, and the Bulls didn't win a single quarter, so it all started just piling up for the Bulls, in which they get a 9-point lead. You got to win some quarters in here. You got to attack. You got to focus. And the Bulls got away from some things. The Bucks, to their credit, went into a zone defense that the Bulls just did not have any idea how to attack that zone defense by the Chicago Bulls. And when you happen like that, this is the loss. Right now, I did say the Bulls are going to lose. And the key thing is how do they rebound from losses? When we lost before, we went on a 3-13 stretch over 6 games, right? Over 16 games. Can the Bulls now use this loss, wake themselves up, much like the Chicago Bears did in that first loss to Green Bay? They then came out the next 2 weeks, and they were on point, right? Can the Bulls use this loss to be like, all right, bet. We lost this game. We lost it at home. We're basically at home until the calendar switches into the new year. So we're basically here through next weekend. We're going to be at home still. So the Bulls need to lock in, focus, and get this shit done. That's it. Get it done. It's not over with. Every team's going to have bad losses. It is what it is. You sold down the stretch of this game. It is what it is. But, again, this was a team with a losing record. Did you play down to the level of competition? I can't say that. They had Giannis in this game, but the Bulls got to lock in on this one. You lost this game. A big reason why you lost this game is your own mistakes. So now let's see how you're going to go out and rebound with this. Let's see what you're going to go out there and do next. There's so many effortless rebounds at the end, though. Even though we out-rebounded them. That's why I didn't point out that we out-rebounded them, because you're absolutely right. Let me see what the rebound discrepancy was in the fourth, because I guarantee you they killed us in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, they had 15 rebounds. We had 9. So they killed us by 6 rebounds in the key fourth quarter. How many second chance points did they have? We were tied 4-4 on second chance points, so I can't even say it was a huge discrepancy there. But, hey, the Bulls, man, they wet the bed in this one. They really wet the bed in this one, man. If Giannis wasn't playing, we win. Yeah, but I mean, what does that win then mean? Like, if Giannis isn't playing, what does that win really mean at that point in time? Because we know Giannis is everything for it. Oh my goodness, Valentine type shot from Kobe. Man, listen, you're not wrong. Man, Giannis beat our ass. We didn't have an answer for him. LOL, belt to ass, simple. We need a star player, period. We don't have one at all. That's obvious. Giddey was trash. Models was trash. Kobe was trash. Like, yeah, but it's not even just that. They didn't lose this game because they didn't have a star. They lost this game because of the turnovers and lack of rebounding is what killed this game. Maybe Giannis dunked on that to tell the front office, you don't want me. That's hey, listen, maybe it was a message. How many points this season in each quarter do we have? Bro, what the fuck kind of question? Brandon, I have no fucking idea off the top of my head, bro. Come on, man. Herder the last 3 games is 3 of 13. From 3 is 3 of 17 and was 32 of 3 going into the game. It's about to drop a little more after going 1 of 6. He's got to turn that around. I mean, listen, the thing I always said about Kevin Herter is if you go and look, he was coming off 2 of his absolute worst 3-point shooting seasons before the Bulls traded for him last year. Then he finished the season strong with the Chicago Bulls, but he's really just back to what he was doing before we traded for him. Now, I will say this, Kevin Herter is doing some other stuff out there, but it is what it is. I think the Bucks broke our first winning streak too. I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. I think people are lame, disliking players playing to the end, even when you can't win or lose. I also felt the dunk was showmanship. Yeah, I mean, but, there's kind of an unspoken rule in the NBA as far as respect that you don't do that type of thing in that situation. But, hey, it is what it is. We did a good job rebounding, but it's those critical rebounds. Yeah, overall in the game, we did a really good job rebounding. But you got to, like you said, critical rebounds. You got to get that critical rebounds. You have to. We strong as a team, but when we go cold from the field, we don't have a star that can fly, that can really set the tone and regroup this team. Hopefully we get that sooner rather than later. Yeah, but you don't just get a star. I mean, you got to either hope that it develops. You're not going to just get a star. People think that we can afford to trade Kobe or even role players in Vooch. Laugh my ass off. They don't know basketball at all. We go 0-2. But I think some people who want to see trades actually want that, right? I feel the threes weren't going down tonight by Giddey and some of the bench, but the turnovers were the main issue. Turnovers and key rebounds are definitely a big issue in this game, if you know what I mean. With how many offensive rebounds Bulls are giving up, Steven Adams is going to eat when we eventually play the Rockets. Okay, I mean, cool. I don't really care about that right now. I'm not worried about an eventual matchup. I'm worried about this one. I thought the Bulls had some fight tonight, but Giannis was just too much. Late game executions let us down too. We got to stop giving up rebounds off free throws. Just inexcusable. That rebounds off free throws is huge, especially when like the other team misses free throws, and then we can't get a rebound. There were so many possessions today where the Bulls just couldn't get a rebound, and they had multiple opportunities to get a rebound too, and we just could not get it done. We couldn't get it done. Portis came in late and bumped into Kobe in that scuffle. I hope next matchup versus them they remember, because Portis also had a couple of BS fouls on Io, shoulder bump, and saw him pull Smith's jersey and fling him. Listen, it's a rivalry game. They don't like us. We don't like them. Bobby Portis damn sure doesn't like us. It is what it is, man. Giannis the type of guy to get angry if somebody put up a shot when the game is over. I mean, I feel like I've seen that before too. Haize, we did a good job of getting into the bonus. We don't do a job of recognizing when we should attack to use the bonus to our advantage. I mean, the Bulls didn't attack the zone. And I hate seeing so much passing around the perimeter in the zone with no moving into somebody has to cut. Like, the zone defense can't stop you cutting off the ball. So, like, you gotta cut. You gotta cut. Nana said, F that respect. Y'all turned me down. It could have been us. That's funny. That's funny. If Kevin Huerter gets that shot back, he has really become lethal role player, but it is an if for a reason. Exactly. It is. I mean, his shot has not been really good. Vooch got that board stripped off him by a 6'2 guard. Last time he tried to rob a toddler, didn't work out either. Then Porter's eyes got me crying. Hey, man, listen. It just is what it is. Like, I mean, all jokes aside, and this isn't to excuse the Chicago Bulls. Like, this was a bad loss because there were things in your control you could have avoided this loss. But you weren't going to win every game, right? Now, let's see how you respond. I've been saying for a while, I want to see how this team now, with being fully healthy, I want to see how they respond after a loss. Now let's go out here and see how you respond, right? Because it's easy when you're building that momentum to keep playing with that edge. It's easy to keep playing with that when you're playing with that momentum, when you're winning, stacking wins. Now let's see what the Chicago Bulls do to get out of their own head and to get back in the win column. That's what the Bulls' focus needs to be. How do we get back in the win column when we take on Minnesota? Because it's going to be a scuffle against Minnesota as well. But the Bulls are literally at home. They don't play another away game to January 5th. So the Bulls are at home for their next 4 games. Get some home cooking. Let's go on another 4-game win streak. Let's do that. Let's win 9 out of 10. Let's do that. Right? So, listen, I'm not going to get too down. You weren't going to win every game. It sucks. And especially, like, you got to stop some of the bad shots. You got to understand how to attack a zone defense. There are 2 ways to attack a zone defense, right? And I don't mean to get into my heavy analytical basketball bag. But one, with shooting. 3-point shooting, bust the zone. They have to guard you. They have to come out the zone. That's the easiest way to do it. But outside of that, it's cutting. It's slashing, right? They can't zone you out of the paint if you don't have the ball, right? The zone defense is meant to keep the ball handler from penetrating into the paint. If you cut and move without the fucking ball, they can't stop you. And now it takes good passing, solid passing to get you the ball. Ball movement, off-ball movement. That's how you move the zone around. And when you start forcing the players in the zone to move, you manipulate the defense, and then that's what gets you wrinkles. That's what gets you lanes to the bucket. That's what gets you open shots. And the Bulls in the fourth quarter, when they saw that zone, it was almost like, oh, zone, dribble, oh, shit, zone, let me back up, take an off-balance 3. You can't do that. You cannot do that against a zone defense. You can't. Now, if you get hot, you can maybe, but you cannot do that against a zone defense. We played exactly into the strength of the defense today. And that's on coaching. That's on player execution. That's on a lot. They got to get that shit together. You cannot continue. If you don't know how to attack a zone, we're going to see the same thing we saw in the play-in against Miami. You have to understand how to attack a zone defense. Until the Bulls can do that consistently, they're going to run into games like this, especially with teams that have length, that has legitimate size, that also have a star that can get buckets on the opposite end of the floor. If I'm the Chicago Bulls, when we have an extended break, you got to practice the passing in the zone. Passing and ball movement in the zone defense, you have to practice that. We cannot keep losing games to zone defense. It's stupid, right? It's dumb. Giannis the same guy who got mad at Halliburton's dad in the playoffs, and now he does this tonight. I mean, listen, it is what it is. I might be wrong, but we did not look like an elite team even during the winning streak. Seriously hope the front office realizes they're not tanking. Listen, I need everybody to realize this. The Chicago Bulls aren't tanking. It's okay that you want to tank, but realize in reality, it's not going to happen. It's like if you get a girl with a flat ass, you can like big ass all day long, but you got to realize your woman ain't got a big ass. It's not going to grow overnight. You can go get a BBL, I guess. It's not going to grow overnight. This franchise is not going to tank. All the pro tankers, wake up. It's not going to tank. You don't marry a white girl and say you wanted an Asian. That's not the way that this shit works. We have a franchise that has shown us with their actions and told us with their words they are not going to tank. Let's get off the tank shit. We are not tanking. The Bulls team is not going to tank. So get all that tank thought out of your head. It's not happening. To be honest, it's been a long overdue for the Bulls to get their get back on the Bucks since they've been disrespecting us since they hurt Caruso a couple years ago and made jokes about it. Bulls never did a thing. Listen, this is a completely different team for me. Get over that. Get over that. We needed our double big lineup more today. Colin Smith duo needs to be on the court together more often. Yeah, and I mean, Zach Collins got hurt, but Billy Donovan went to the Vooch, Zach Collins double big lineup, and that lineup never works for the Chicago Bulls. It never works. It never works for the Bulls. Thought that 5-second violation was the turn we need. Didn't happen. It should have been, Brian. It should have been. That 5-second violation should have been what put the momentum in the Bulls' hands. But they couldn't get a bucket. Last 4 weeks, teams playing the Bucks got a break without Giannis, but I'd rather evaluate data with him. Oh, facts. I mean, listen, it is what it is. But the Bulls are not no good through. Bro, Jeremy, hooked on phonics, bro. Please. Nigga, what the fuck do you be typing, bro? We need a mid-range scorer. I'm not sure why Kobe doesn't have that in. He does. Billy Donovan has said it. He doesn't want us taking mid-range shots. That's a system thing. Billy Donovan does not want us taking mid-range shots. That's just the reality of it. He said it himself. It's come out the mouth of the man himself. He does not want us taking mid-range shots. He just doesn't. I was waiting for somebody to piss off Haize. Didn't have flat BBL ass on the bingo card. You can't have a Haize bingo card because nobody ever knows what I'm going to say. I'm liable to say some wild shit every single day. I really don't know how much longer I can be excited for the Bulls. I really hope we can respond to this loss well. But, man, I've been waiting for a decade for a good Bulls team. It's just demoralizing at this point. We had a good Bulls team in 2021-22. So what are you talking about, Vikram? Like, we had a good team. We were above 500. It was a good team. Are you saying you're waiting for a great team? We've had some good teams in the last decade. It's good don't really get you too far, though. I hope Collins is okay, but I'm guessing Billy wanted to try Collins on Giannis late. He needed to try Smith on Giannis. Yo, I don't really watch other teams' games, but this team seems to barely win by 5 points. How do you think this team becomes more dominant? Listen, they're not going to. At this point, tough it out, win the games the way that you can. Like, let's focus on winning consistently, then we can figure out how to win differently. That's what this team needs to do first. Win consistently first, and then we'll worry about how we win. But you got to win consistently first. I would like the lineup of Jones, Kobe, Giddey, Buzelis, Collins, and Jones handling the ball, setting up players, Giddey sloppy ball handling at times. It's torture. I mean, listen, it comes. Like, if Trey Jones handled the ball as much as Josh Giddey in creating, like, Trey Jones is a really good passer. He's not the open shot creator Josh Giddey is. That happens. I said this on a different show. If you go and look at every point guard that creates at the rate, not just assist. See, people look at that differently. It's not just assists. It's the number of open shots created. If you go and look at that, my point guards that typically create the way that Josh Giddey does, they all have high turnovers. Now, of course, you want to get it low where you can, but, you know, it is what it is. It's a loss. It is what it is. We'll bounce back. Let's not hang our heads in this process. It's a loss, bro. That's it. It's a loss. Next game will tell us more about the loss if they can bounce back. No more streaks losing. Let's see. Bulls kept on doing fast pace until they commit turnovers. Sometimes they execute without thinking. I mean, they were turning it over even in the half court when they weren't running. It wasn't about a fast pace. So, I mean, yeah. That was for 35 games, bro. Only won one playoff game. So to your point, I guess, yeah, great team that can actually be a legit playoff team. Okay, that's different. Not really going to lie. I thought we was going to win at the end, but it did not happen. I mean, they had an opportunity to win the game. They really did have an opportunity to win the game. They just, their own mistakes and not being able to get rebounds, not securing those rebounds, and shot themselves in the foot. Haize missed free throws really killed us tonight. It's been killing us every night, every single night. So it is what it is there. But the Bulls lose 112-103. The win streak is over. The Chicago Bulls take the court next. Let me see. When do we take the court next? On Monday against Minnesota. So that is the next time that we have a game. It will be Monday against Minnesota. And we'll see what the Bulls can do with that. Chicago Bears play tomorrow. But that's my time. If you guys want to follow us, you can do so at Bull Central Pod. You send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. Oh, wait. What's happening here? Oh, I'm not going to be able to play the outro because something is going on with my window. All right, let's see if doing that brings it back. All right, there we go. All right, you guys can follow us at Bull Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.